Okay, let's talk about the bong. There are several angles that are in the bong. They're important angles. It means something. And let's talk about that. John, can you give us a good bong?
Okay.
It usually means bong hit. Okay, so when it comes to the shoulder and the elbow, and of course it depends on how high your opponent is or how low your opponent is, would make a difference. I know there's people who talk about the invincible bong. You can bang on it. If you do it right, you can bang on it. That's true, but the bong is a transition move. It's not about creating a concrete step that someone can bang on, because if I can bang on your bong, that means I'm going to give you just enough for you to respond, and then take that really hard handle that you've created, and I'm going to jut you down and use it against you. So, and that's presuming a number of things. But the point is, here in the bong, his happens to be elbow above shoulder. You want it at least the level of the shoulder or above. There are a few weird exceptions. You'd have to be working out with somebody very, very short. So, higher than here. Now, what he's done is, when we come from the elbow and we look at the angle of it, from coming from here with the body, it should be about a 45-degree angle out. From the upper arm to here, in this particular case, it looks like about a 90, but it should be, if you look at it and you drew a rectangle here, that's in line with his chest. Once you draw that rectangle, it should be like a slash across it, like one of those diver signs says, anything that has a diagonal. It should be a diagonal in this rectangle when you go this way. Then, when we turn the rectangle to face vertically, so it's up and down, now he should also be at a 45 going down in that same rectangle. So how far it comes out from the body, comes out about 45 degrees. How far it goes down 45 degrees. The angle between the arm here and the wrist here is what will be, it's actually 135 degrees, but if we do it again from, yeah, I guess that's the best way to do it, is to figure from this going here, it's about 135 degrees. If his wrist was all the way over there, it would be 90, so that's how I'm getting my amazing physics, or geometry, which I'm obviously not a student of. And then this is relaxed. So now we have this angle, and in relation to this, and then we have in relation to horizontal again, now it comes down, so that's why it's not up here. So we just did, in relation to this, you don't want a 90, you want a 135, and now we don't want it to be level, we want it in relation to this next rectangle, we want it to also be a diagonal. That is a good bong. If it goes out like this when you use it, it's a useless bong. It's always important to remember that anytime you use the bong for anything, it's always forward energy. So an example of that would be if he were to come in and punch here, just because I happen to catch him with a bong. But it's really important that I don't push this way. And if I want to use third form on him and I want to do this, I also don't want to turn and go off my center line this way. That's no good. But he can go off my center line. So if he comes straight into me, well, I can't do that move. And you see, I can turn it into what will be like a Bill Sow hand, and I have my Wu Sow here to catch his other hand, now that we're close enough to fight or interact. But if it so happened he came in and he was a little bit off, I might be able to do this. As soon as he crossed my center line, I can do this. If not, I have my Wu Sow again here. But he crossed the center line, do this. Or if he crossed my center line enough and I stepped off, then I could come under. But you have to be careful, because if you are collapsed, when he does that, remember, we don't strike with the elbows. But if I was collapsed, then he could do Pal Jong on me and capture both of my hands. So if you're not used to it, then one is to come here over the top, and that's good. And there you go. The other one is, as long as I'm not collapsed and he comes in and I step off, he goes off the center line, as long as I'm out here to where he can't pin me, he can try to pin me, but it's not going to work. So that's how I can use, from the third form, I can use this, and this, and this. That's all third form stuff. Same way I'll do it on the other side. If I have the bong here, I might turn my shoulder off a little bit for this, for the camera. But again, I can always come here. And by the way, this is Lop Sow. The moment I came here and he didn't stop, he didn't turn to a bong, he ended up, boom, in trouble. But if we were here and I did this and he went to Lopsow, there I can't strike him. And the other hand would interact more, but for the purposes of what we're doing, I'm just pointing out that as soon as I came in here and he didn't go to Lopsow, he was essentially conquered because his center line is turned away. This hand doesn't have a lot of use. I have both hands blocked with this hand, and I can strike and do multiple fan styles. So again, when it comes to the Bong, if he strikes, remember, we don't turn off like this. I'm not sure how that becomes such a wonderful, popular non-Wing Chun move by Wing Chun people. Some Wing Chun people, and there's some great ones. But here, he comes in, and this folding arm, again, isn't for striking with elbow, because if he catches me here, I'm done for. So the folding arm is just to allow me to transition from the Bong that's not meant to have him push on me and then jut me. Okay? That's not what a Bong is for. So if you make your Bong of steel, then it has no real value as far as I'm concerned in application. Unless you're just a brute strength person and you're going to smash people with your arms, in which case you don't really need Wing Chun, I don't think. But anyway, when he comes in, it's not really a collapse. It's a little bit. I'm not Chokeel. So if I let my Bong collapse, it's because I'm transitioning. And that's what the Bong is a transition move. Whack, whack, whack. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Yep, we're good.